From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, June 2nd. We're going to have some scattered shower chances possible throughout the morning today, and then we're going to dry out for the rest of the day. The high is going to be a little cooler today. It's going to be nice in the low to mid 70s. One person is dead, 2 others are wounded in a shooting on the southeast side of Indianapolis. It happened at the Emerson Village Apartments just off Emerson and Shelbyville Road. Police tell us officers found one of the victims at the scene, and that person is stable. The others turned up at hospitals. One is alive at St. Francis. The other has died at Community South. IMPD is asking anyone who knows what happened to come forward. Police have not said what led to the shooting.
Multi-floor facility, hundreds of rooms, hundreds of people. It was complete chaos as people ran out. And then we did a methodical floor-by-floor search, looking at every room. People were hiding. We were able to get them out safely.
A gunman kills 4 people on a hospital campus in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the latest in a series of deadly mass shootings across the country. Right now, around 10 people are recovering from their wounds. According to Tulsa police, they are expected to survive. All of this happened yesterday afternoon. According to authorities, officers responded within 3 minutes to the Natalie building at St. Francis Hospital there. Police say they found the gunman dead and several victims on the second floor. Police say the suspect brought 2 guns, a rifle and a handgun. Investigators haven't released a motive, but say the suspect went to the hospital with purpose. It's not clear if the 4 people killed were either medical staffers, patients, or visitors. At this time, authorities have not yet identified the victims. They say the suspect is a man between 35 and 40 years old. St. Francis Health System, which runs the hospital, says some offices will be closed for the rest of the week. And this morning, we're hearing contradicting claims from Texas police following the school shooting in Uvalde. The Uvalde school's police chief now says he is talking daily with investigators, despite claims he stopped cooperating. Pedro Arredondo faces criticism over accusations he delayed sending officers into the school. State officials have said police waited more than an hour outside the classroom where the suspect opened fire, killing 19 children and 2 teachers. Arredondo says he'll address his decision soon.
We're going to do that eventually, obviously. And whenever this is done and let the families quit grieving, then we'll do that, obviously. And just so everybody knows, we've been in contact with DPS every day, just so you all know.
They say that you're not cooperating.
I've been on the phone with them every day.
The school district announced yesterday students and staff would not be returning to Robb Elementary in the fall. The district is still finalizing where students will attend classes. Today, the 18-year-old charged in a racist attack at a Buffalo, New York supermarket will hear the 25 charges against him. A grand jury charged the suspect with domestic terrorism and a hate crime yesterday, which carries a mandatory sentence of life in prison. That builds on the first-degree murder charges he already faces, 10 counts for each victim. The suspect pleaded not guilty. The House Judiciary Committee will likely advance a package of gun reform laws today in a mostly symbolic vote. The Protecting Our Kids Act raises the legal age to buy a semi-automatic rifle from 18 to 21. The law also establishes a federal offense for importing, selling, manufacturing, transferring, or possessing a large-capacity magazine. The Senate is taking a different course. A bipartisan group is working toward a compromise that could win enough GOP support to become law. From ITmate, Governor Holcomb responds to the controversial gun control comments from a local mayor. Here at Wish TV, we first reported on Tuesday about the profanity-laced Facebook post from Zionsville Mayor Emily Styron. She says she stands by her statements and the way she delivered them. Styron and Holcomb were then at the same event yesterday, Wednesday, opening a new trail. ITmate asked the governor about the mayor's comments.
Did she say anything to you today about Indiana needs to address what's happening with guns in Indiana?
She has not.
What do you think about her comments standing next to her today?
I think I've been very clear about civility being the foundation of my 5 pillars. And I completely understand just how passionate I am. We all are, especially when tragedy strikes. Words, as passionate as they are, can bring people together or push them apart.
Styron declined to talk further about her gun control comments when asked at the trail opening. A former police chief from Ohio will not serve prison time for his role in a gun trafficking scheme with 2 Indiana gun dealers. Prosecutors say Dorian LaCourse conspired to buy and sell 200 semi-automatic machine guns. A judge sentenced LaCourse 3 years probation and 6 months of home detention. He faces 15 years after pleading guilty to serious gun crimes. Prosecutors say 34-year-old Jonathan Markham of Laurel and 58-year-old Christopher Petty of Lawrenceburg helped him carry out the crimes. The U.S. attorney says LaCourse was the only officer in Addiston, Ohio, a town of 1,000. Prosecutors say LaCourse signed bogus letters claiming his department was interested in buying various types of machine guns and that Markham and Petty would give demonstrations. Petty and Markham are both federally licensed firearms dealers. Prosecutors say they sent the letters to the ATF in order to get the guns, but instead of delivering the guns to the police department, prosecutors say they sold them for 5 or 6 times the purchase price and gave LaCourse more than $11,000 for his role in the scheme. In a statement, the ATF said, LaCourse committed an egregious betrayal of the public's trust by engaging in this machine gun trafficking scheme. I hope that this sentence serves as an example to anyone else out there who might be tempted to betray their oath of office and their responsibility to their community. Markham and Petty were charged and pled guilty to conspiracy. Both men face up to 5 years in prison. No word on when their sentencing is. A health expert says online sales of counterfeit pills laced with fentanyl are contributing to a record number of drug overdoses. The CDC data shows more than 100,000 people died from overdoses between December of 2020 and December of 2021. News 8 spoke with the executive director of a public health group called Partnership for Safe Medicines. Shabir Safdar says that the pills are easy for young people to get because dealers are selling them on social media. He knows of cases of children as young as 12 buying such pills and urges parents to talk to kids about the risks of taking pills that are not prescribed to you. President Biden is working to hold the country's top baby formula suppliers accountable. He says he was not briefed about the potential of a nationwide shortage for 2 months. Biden met virtually with manufacturers yesterday, including Reckitt Benckiser in Evansville, to ask what steps are being taken to combat the shortage. Company executives told Biden they knew shutting down the Abbott plant in Michigan would have an impact almost immediately. A top White House advisor says Biden was informed once it became clear Abbott's plant would not open back up quickly, even though the administration had been working on the issue earlier. The White House announced the 3rd and 4th round of formula shipments from overseas will begin next week. An Australian producer is set to ship enough formula for 4.6 million bottles to Pennsylvania and California. Those will be flown in on commercial planes contracted by the Defense Department. Then United Airlines will fly in another 3.7 million bottles worth of formula from London, free of charge. It's the first major airline to donate flights. The flights span over a 3-week period starting June 9th and land at multiple U.S. airports. United will fly more than 300,000 pounds of formula overall. Pfizer is asking for approval for a COVID-19 vaccine series for children 6 months to 5 years old. It's the second time the company has asked for authorization, but it's different from the first. Earlier this year, the company paused its request, saying a 2-dose version did not create a strong enough immune response. New trial results on a 3-shot series are in, and Pfizer says it works well. An FDA panel will discuss authorization requests from both Pfizer and Moderna in 2 weeks. The Education Department delivers its largest student loan cancellation yet. The Biden administration wiped out $5.8 billion in federal debt for former Corinthian college students. More than 500,000 borrowers will get relief. Corinthian was one of the nation's largest for-profit college companies at its peak, with more than 100 campuses. It shut down in 2015 amid widespread findings of fraud. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard now owe each other millions. The 6-week defamation trial pitting the former couple against each other ends with an unusual verdict. The jury says both were defamed. Jurors decided that Heard defamed Depp in an op-ed about domestic abuse and should pay him more than $15 million. State laws will cap that at just more than $10 million. The jury also found that Depp's attorney defamed Heard during the trial by calling her claims a hoax. Her award, $2 million. Depp's team calls it a victory. After the verdict, Heard said she was heartbroken and called the decision a setback for women. To some business headlines now. Orders for workplace robots in the United States surged 40% year over year in the first quarter of 2022. Companies are leveraging automation to combat ongoing labor shortages and cut costs as inflation continues to hover near a 40-year high. The industries using robots include metals, plastics, life sciences, and computer chips. Elon Musk told Tesla employees to come back into their respective offices full-time or leave the company. In an email sent within the company, Musk said that people must show up for at least 40 hours per week in a main Tesla office. Musk later said on Twitter they should pretend to work somewhere else. Instagram will launch Amber Alerts on the social media platform in an effort to help find missing children. The feature, which begins rolling out immediately, will allow users to see and share notices of missing kids in their area. It will be fully available in 25 countries in the coming weeks. A report says Netflix's plan to crack down on password sharing is already a mess. It's been trialing this new policy in Costa Rica, Chile, and Peru. Insider reports under the terms of this test, subscribers are charged a monthly fee, the equivalent of around $2 to $3 to add an extra member account for someone living outside their household, but it's led to a lot of confusion. And finally, Wish TV is proud to announce our third annual Great Pasta Push for Second Helpings. Last year, we raised enough for 145,000 meals, and we want to do even better this year. You can donate money right now. $5 feeds a family of 4. You can also donate pasta. They're in need of elbow macaroni and spaghetti. At wishtv.com/pasta, you can find a link to donate money and a list of all of the locations where you can drop off pasta. Again, that is wishtv.com/pasta. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.